Welcome to Lives Remembered, where Margaret honors the stories of extraordinary people whose lives left a meaningful mark on the world. This channel reflects on cherished figures from film, music, culture, and beyond, remembering their achievements, their influence, and the legacy they created. Together, we celebrate their memory and the lasting inspiration they continue to leave behind. Doug Irwin was widely respected for his skill in designing and building custom guitars with a strong sense of artistry and precision. His work went beyond simple instrument making. He treated each guitar as a unique creation, carefully shaping both its sound and character. His approach combined technical knowledge with creative expression, giving his instruments a distinct identity that musicians deeply valued. Iconic collaborations. One of his most important collaborations was with Jerry Garcia of Grateful Dead. Irwin crafted several of Garcia's most recognized guitars, including the famous Wolf and Tiger. These instruments became closely tied to live performances and are remembered for their role in shaping the band's evolving sound. Musicians and fans alike appreciated how these guitars seemed to carry both visual character and musical depth, making them stand out on stage. Legacy Doug Irwin passed away at the age of 76, leaving behind a lasting influence on guitar craftsmanship. His instruments continue to be celebrated for their design and sound, and they remain part of music history. Beyond the guitars themselves, his legacy lives on in the inspiration he provided to builders and musicians who continue to value artistry in instrument making. 25 years ago this week, the music world remembered Joey Ramone, who passed away at the age of 49. Though his life was relatively short, his presence in music left a lasting mark that continues to echo through generations. His voice carried a raw, unpolished honesty that stood apart from the polished sound of mainstream rock, giving listeners something immediate and real. The Ramones and a new sound. As the frontman of Ramones, Joey Ramone helped shape a new direction for music in the mid-1970s. From small clubs in New York, their stripped-down style and fast, direct songs helped define what would become punk rock. It wasn't about complexity. It was about energy, attitude, and expression. That simplicity ended up influencing countless bands across the world. Legacy that still resonates. In 2002, the band was honored at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Induction Ceremony 2002, recognizing their impact on modern music. Even today, Joey Ramone's influence can be heard in fast guitar riffs, direct lyrics, and artists who value authenticity over perfection. His story stands as a reminder that powerful ideas in music don't need long lifetimes, just an honest voice and the courage to use it. Lamont McLemore was born in 1935 in St. Louis, Missouri, and his early life moved between different paths before music fully took hold. He served in the United States Navy as an aerial photographer, later turning that eye for detail into work capturing public figures. For a time, he also explored baseball, building discipline and teamwork that would later shape his artistic journey. The sound of a generation. His greatest musical chapter began with The Fifth Dimension, alongside Marilyn McCoo, Billy Davis Jr., Ron Townsend, and Florence LaRue. Together, they created a signature blend of pop, soul, and sunshine harmony. Songs like Up, Up, and Away, and Aquarius/Let the Sunshine In became defining anthems of an era filled with change and optimism, a creative spirit beyond music. Beyond the stage, McLemore was known for his quiet creativity and warm personality. He carried a steady passion for art, photography, and storytelling in all forms. Those close to him often described him as grounded and generous, someone who valued collaboration as much as performance, and who found joy in the creative process itself. A lasting echo, Lamont McLemore's influence continues through the music that still reaches new listeners today. His work with the Fifth Dimension helped shape a timeless sound built on harmony and hope. Even as time moves forward, his contributions remain woven into the history of popular music, echoing in every familiar chorus and uplifting melody. Valerie Mahavei was an American actress whose career reflected quiet strength and consistent artistry across television and film. Born on June 16, 1953, she developed a reputation for bringing warmth and emotional depth to every role she played. Her breakthrough came with her acclaimed performance as Eve in the series Northern Exposure, a role that earned her an Emmy Award in 1992. She stood out for her ability to balance humor and vulnerability, creating a character that felt both unusual and deeply human. Television and film versatility. Throughout her career, Mahavei continued to move effortlessly between genres and formats, appearing in popular shows such as Desperate Housewives and Young Sheldon. Her performances were often subtle yet memorable, adding texture and authenticity to every scene. In film, she delivered a critically noted role in French Exit, earning an Independent Spirit Award nomination and further proving her range and enduring screen presence. Legacy of craft and subtle power. Valerie Mahavei passed away at the age of 71, leaving behind a legacy defined not by constant spotlight, but by steady excellence. Colleagues often described her as thoughtful, dedicated, and deeply committed to storytelling. Her body of work continues to resonate because of its sincerity and emotional honesty, reminding audiences of the lasting impact of quiet, skillful performances that stay with viewers long after the screen fades to black. Marie Osmond's story does not begin with fame. It begins with expectation. From the moment she was born into the Osmond family in 1959, life was already moving at the pace of performance. In a household where music was not just a passion but a profession, childhood and stage life blended into one. While most children were learning how to speak confidently in front of a class, Marie was already learning how to perform in front of audiences. Her family's success meant constant movement, rehearsals, and public appearances. The idea of a private childhood simply did not exist in her world. From an early age, she learned that being seen mattered more than simply being. That foundation shaped everything that followed, not just her career, but her understanding of identity itself. Even as a child, she wasn't just growing up. She was growing into a role already written for her. Early fame and the cost of growing up on stage. By her teenage years, Marie Osmond was already a national figure. Her early success in music turned her into a household name before she had fully stepped into adulthood. While other teenagers were discovering independence, she was managing contracts, rehearsals, and expectations that left little room for personal growth. The world saw a bright, polished performer. Behind that image, however, was a young girl navigating pressure that most adults would struggle to handle. Every performance came with scrutiny. Every appearance carried expectations of perfection. This early fame created a life where achievement and identity became inseparable. Success was constant, but so was exhaustion. And slowly, the boundary between who she was and who she was expected to be began to blur. The pressure of perfection and public expectations. As her career expanded, so did the pressure surrounding her image. The entertainment industry of that era placed enormous emphasis on appearance, especially for young female performers. Marie was constantly reminded, directly and indirectly, that her value was tied not only to talent, but also to how she looked. This created an internal struggle that followed her for decades. On stage, she was confident and composed. Off stage, she often questioned whether she was ever enough as she was. Perfection became less of a goal and more of an obligation. And with that came emotional exhaustion that few people around her fully understood. Marriage, motherhood, and the search for stability. In her early 20s, Marie entered marriage and soon stepped into motherhood. At the time, it seemed like a natural continuation of the values she had grown up with: family, commitment, and faith. Motherhood brought joy, but also immense responsibility. Over time, she became the parent of a large blended family while continuing to maintain a demanding career. The balance between personal life and professional obligation was constant and often overwhelming. Like many people trying to hold together multiple roles, she often placed herself last. The expectation to be strong, available, and emotionally steady left little room for her own needs or struggles, hidden struggles, and emotional exhaustion. Behind her public image, Marie faced periods of emotional difficulty that she did not immediately recognize for what they were. Like many high-functioning performers, she continued working even when she felt overwhelmed inside. Motherhood, career demands, and constant public visibility created a level of pressure that slowly built over time. There were moments when she felt disconnected from herself, unsure how to reconcile her internal experience with her external role. Eventually, she sought help and began to understand that emotional distress is not failure. It is human experience. That realization became an important turning point in her life. The body, self-image, and lifelong pressure. For much of her career, Marie's body was treated as part of her public identity. This created a complicated relationship with self-image. Like many women in entertainment, she experienced cycles of pressure, expectation, and self-criticism. Over time, she openly acknowledged how damaging those expectations were. The constant focus on appearance affected her self-esteem and created long-term emotional strain. Later in life, she began shifting away from that mindset, focusing instead on health, acceptance, and balance. Letting go of long-held standards did not happen quickly, but it became one of the most important parts of her personal growth. Loss, grief, and life-altering pain. One of the most difficult chapters in Marie Osmond's life came with the loss of her son, Michael. The experience brought a level of grief that cannot be easily described or contained within language. Like many families affected by mental health struggles, the aftermath included confusion, heartbreak, and reflection. Marie chose to speak openly about this experience in time, not to dwell in pain, but to help others understand the importance of mental health awareness and support. Grief did not disappear for her. It changed shape. It became something she carried, rather than something she could move beyond. Over time, she found purpose in advocacy, helping reduce stigma around mental health and encouraging others to seek support. Career longevity and the weight of performance. Even while facing personal challenges, Marie continued performing for decades. Her long-running Las Vegas residency with Donny Osmond became one of the most successful entertainment partnerships of its kind. However, maintaining such a demanding schedule took a physical and emotional toll. Years of performance created exhaustion that eventually required her to slow down and reassess her priorities. In later years, she stepped back from constant touring and began choosing work more intentionally. The shift allowed her to prioritize health, family, and personal well-being in ways she had never been able to before. Divorce, change, and emotional reinvention. Marie's personal relationships also went through multiple transitions over the years. She experienced marriage, separation, reconciliation, and divorce across different stages of her life. Rather than defining her by failure, these experiences became part of a larger process of self-understanding. Over time, she began to recognize patterns in her relationships and the emotional needs that influenced them. Through therapy and reflection, she worked toward building a healthier relationship with herself, One not dependent on external validation or perfection. Healing, acceptance, and slowing down. In her later years, Marie Osmond began to embrace a slower, more grounded way of living. She stepped back from intense schedules and began focusing more on family, health, and emotional stability. This period of her life is marked not by public reinvention, but by personal peace. She speaks more openly about acceptance, self-worth, and the importance of letting go of impossible expectations. Instead of chasing perfection, she now focuses on presence. Instead of performance, she values peace, a legacy of resilience and honesty. Marie Osmond's legacy is not defined by perfection, but by endurance. Her life reflects the reality that success and struggle often coexist. Behind the fame, she experienced challenges that shaped her understanding of resilience in deeply human ways. Her willingness to speak openly about grief, mental health, and personal struggle has helped others feel less alone. In many ways, her impact extends beyond entertainment into advocacy and emotional awareness. She represents a truth that is often overlooked in public life, that strength is not the absence of pain, but the ability to continue despite it. Closing reflection. Marie Osmond's journey is not a story of perfection achieved, but of humanity understood. Her life shows how early expectations can shape identity, how public success can hide private struggle, and how healing is a lifelong process rather than a final destination. She is not defined by one role, one loss, or one stage of life. She is defined by her continued willingness to grow, adapt, and keep moving forward even after hardship. And in that, her story becomes less about fame and more about survival, self-acceptance, and the quiet strength of simply continuing to live.